So we're going to break down the stock market's move. Right now, futures have gapped down pretty big. Oil, I already know, has gapped up. I haven't even checked out the charts, but I know oil is going to gap up just because of what's going on with Iran, the attacks, uncertainty about war, a lot happened over the weekend. So we're gonna check this out. Futures opened up at 5. That was 2 hours ago, my time. So jumping really into it, just getting into the charts. Bitcoin didn't really see a move at all. This is the daily chart. So nothing really showing up in Bitcoin. That kind of like follows tech a lot. A lot of people really assume it does too. Probably another conversation for another day. But I was surprised to see Bitcoin not really doing anything at all, sideways. Now, this purple zone we're at is a weekly zone. I do think we're going to get that continuation. Again, I'm planning on buying at 50 or sub 50. Now, I still buy it every week, but to be clear, for a reminder, if you are brand new here, I buy every week, and then I have an amount going into my savings account. So when we get these dips, when I say, hey, I'm buying at this, it's when I take the savings, I dump it all in. Keeps my average weighted down. I get to buy much more at a dip. So looking at that, and just historically what Bitcoin has done. Now it has these crashes like 87%, 83%. Like each time it has these crypto winners every 4 years. So far, it's the one thing that's 100% in the market. It's never not done this. Anyway, but the lows are getting, the percentage wise is getting higher. I think that puts us, if we were to go back down to like 80%, it still puts us in the 30s, maybe high 30s. So that's why I don't want to miss like I did last time. Last time I was expecting this, and I was like, oh, it's going to get to 11 or 12. I even had a bet out there. I was like, that's where I'm buying. It went just above it and turned around. So going to put that buy order a little bit higher this time, and I am going to get pretty aggressive. So if you do hear me talk about why I'm buying so much, I do have a specific plan, and for now, that's just, I hate to say it's like the last time I'll be able to buy it cheap, but it just keeps getting higher. The lows keep getting higher, so I'm going to probably get a little bit aggressive on that. S&P right here. We're going to zoom in to show you guys this. Again, futures opened up a couple hours ago. So we actually created another lower high. Weird coincidence. Right there on that yellow line. Almost made it to that zone. Talked about if we held this zone right here, we were kind of looking good. Yeah, like maybe we are going to push up. Maybe tag all-time highs one more time. But we didn't. We didn't hold that zone. We actually gapped all the way down to here, bounced out of this blue zone. Currently, went right into that yellow zone. This is a bright yellow zone that I thought, hey, bullish above, bearish below. Honestly, right now looks more like a short entry. Jumping up into that zone. Maybe tomorrow we announce world peace and we absolutely send it. This could just be a scare tactic, who knows? Or we send nukes, But I think that's what a lot of this is, just the uncertainty in general. Are we at war? Are we just gonna? I was say we're gonna kidnap the president, but that's no longer an option, unless you believe in different realms. So world peace, or we announce we're at a war. We need some kind of certainty, like, hey, we are at war. We are gonna just level this place off, because even that's bullish. Or hey, world peace. We're gonna do the peace talks. Trump loves to tweet about that. And then, hey, back to peace. It's the uncertainty of what are we gonna do can drive a lot of this. As far as the expected moves for the S&P, we're likely already there and bouncing up. But 672 to 700 is going to be your moves for this week. I do think we're finally going to break that and get a little bit lower. I'm hoping we do at least. This kind of sideways stuff it's all right for the day trading futures, but I do want a better dip buy. Look at the Nasdaq. We can bring this. What do we have this up on? That had to be a 4 hour or something. Okay, yeah. So 4 hour candles right there. Gap below it, right to the top of that bright yellow zone, push above there. Now, I do think if we give up this brighter yellow, we're going to call it the Ukraine zone. If we do give that up, I think we're going to get you'll be able to buy things a lot cheaper. I'll put it that way. So gapping below that, getting bought right back up. Same thing, just like as we have before with these wicks. I don't know how much. What we're testing right now is how many buyers are still left in this area. And right now, the buyers are getting their friends. So if you're a bull, you should be loving this green candle right now, because that tells me some dork out there was worried, but I'm definitely not. Because the buyers just keep stepping in. Like, hey, we keep selling off. Like, that's cool story. I'll take the shares. I'll take the contracts. You tell me what you want, and I'll take it. I will create that market, and they're buying it right back up. Now here's the gap. So you got the gap fill nerds. They're going to talk about it's going to fill that, and then probably sell off into zero. Whatever the bearish sentiment is there. Man, I gotta say, futures wise, that's some money if you had a few contracts. I trade with real money. I'm not like one of those funded traders on the fake accounts. So you're not gonna hear me talk about I had 50 contracts. It'd be one or two. I've done 4. I did 11 one time on accident because it was supposed to be 1. That moved pretty quick. But even then, that'd be some serious money just for that gap right there. Outside of that, if I'm in the QQQ ETF or something like that, I don't know how worried I am right now. Like I might be thinking, yesterday, like, oh, this is, those days where you're just like, man, you just know tomorrow markets are going to open. You're going to open your brokerage app, and it's going to be red. Seeing that, we're already almost right back up like it was just a nothing burger. Yeah, we offed a guy and his family. So what? Yeah, we blew up a school, but they put that school in the military base. They shouldn't have done that in the first place. That's what they get. We're not going to just pussyfoot around it. We blew up the military base. Don't put a school in there next time. And then we just buy up the stocks. Anyway, Matt says, send the nukes. Now, Trump did say he was going to respond. They're going to hit us hard. We're going to send them something they've never seen. And I'm curious. Is he referencing a Japan situation? Because we've seen nukes before. We sent the sun over to Japan a couple times. For a while there, it was like a Star Wars theme. You just look up. There's 2 suns. It's confusing for a little bit, but don't worry, you're gone if you're that close. Doesn't last long. So is he kind of saying like we're going to send more than that, or is he just kind of turbo typing? He's got the fast hands. This is dumb. At least let it be red until open. If you're short, yeah. Now I have an SQQQ position, so don't get me wrong. This would have been awesome had we opened up kind of like down here and continuing. That position is going to be up. It's going to be great. I even have SPY puts, but not the best look if you're bearish. Like someone's buying it up pretty quick. So I hear you, Cody. For the shorts out there, like. Wait a minute. We just did all that, and we're like, It was red for like a 15-minute trader. For those guys on the tiny time frames, Like, oh, appreciate it. All right. Expected moves for the Qs. We got 591 to 623. Not bad. Man, Grandpa Dow, he took a dip. Now the Grandpa Dow, he was looking the strongest out of all of them, but even he had some arthritis in the knees, Gap down, dropped all the way down to this. And I know this zone's not filled in, so someone's going to say I didn't call it or, whatever. Here's just another weird coincidence. When we get to these zones, again, if you're new here, when you get to these zones, right, this isn't an indicator. It's the only time I care about that particular ticker. I don't care about any of this. Any actionable item I'm going to take is in these zones. So right here, that would have been my buy order. We're coming from the top. I'm looking for buyers. I want to be a buyer. So if you were in the futures contract, you're up a lot. Your stop goes in the green. You trail it, and you watch for sellers at this zone right here. Right now, as far as the overall momentum, it kind of looks like we're losing momentum, but it also at the same time, I could pitch this a few different ways and really sell you guys a position. The Dow just looks sideways. Outside of some midterm year nonsense, uncertainty with war, any other time, if this was any other year, I would say that's a dip buy with your eyes closed. Right now, it could be a dip buy, but not one you'd want to go into blindly. If you don't have your risk management on point, then you don't want to do that. Bitcoin is the main ticker moving in the opposite direction than I expected. All the others traded as expected. Bitcoin really just hung out. They're like, yeah, we're kind of everywhere, so it doesn't really matter. And we trade 24/7. All right, let's move the expected moves for the Dow. All right, so what we got? 480 to 500, $10 move, up or down. Let's get the Russell out of the way. What did Russell do? Gap down. Overall, holding that zone. I was really ready for a red week. I was. Seeing the buy up already happen. God, I want to just buy the dip. Usually, so I like to come on here and I show the charts, kind of what happened at the futures, what they did at the open, and a lot of times there's not much to talk about. Tiny gap, tiny candle, doji candle. It's just technically a color because it's 3 cents up. Yeah, but I kind of give my opinion for the week. And expected moves for the Russell 253 to 269. My overall opinion, and I say this a lot, let the banks get their coffee Monday morning. I'm not a super trader Monday morning. Pre-market, markets for me open at 8:30 to 9. I'll take a trade, but I'm not gung-ho about anything. I'm not putting any serious capital in anything, so I like to let everyone else, let the pawns go first. I'll be in the background with the bigger players. But man, I don't know about this. I might even let this hang out until Monday. Like let the banks get their coffee and their lunch. Like who's catering? Let's check out oil. Oil had to gap up. If it didn't gap up and go nuts, we're already giving it up. I specifically told my friend, I was like, yeah, you might want to fill up before futures open because gas is going to get expensive. No, we gapped up. Now, that's a huge move on oil futures. We're already right back up. If you didn't open up and say, yeah, right, and go short, that's crazy. I was bullish overall oil. Not when I go bullish oil. I don't know why. I trade the futures contract right for the S&P and the Nasdaq, ES and NQ. For oil, I actually love to just sell oil put options. So on the futures contracts on CL, sell the put options. It's what $1,000 a barrel. So if you do like a $1 spread, that's still $1,000. It can move. So even if I was in that play, it would have just been that, not it. We could have gapped to here or to here. My profit would be the same. If you were long a futures contract, you would have already had your stop in the green, would have tagged out. Hopefully, would have been an impressive start to the week. More fear might rush in at open. That's the spirit. Moab 2 takes out 2 miles versus 1. Are we dropping? Now, the Moab is what we took. Guys, I have 3 daughters, right? So I've been in gymnastics and traveling. I literally just got back to go live. And I got to drive back in a stupid ice storm where it looks like it's raining, but you look down at your windshield wipers and they look like they're growing arms because it's just freezing all over it. That's been my day all day today. So I haven't really been caught up on the news. I got a little bit of it that the leader and his family is dead. I think he got, correct me if I'm wrong, fact check this for sure. He went to a bunker. We dropped a bunker buster, leveled that. There was some talk about we took out a school, but the school happened to be on a military base that we leveled. It all sounded crazy. I really thought we were going to, I was like, doesn't sound like we're jacking around, like, oh, we hit a oil. Well, actually, there was a tanker that was hit. Are we shutting down the strait? Because that's going to affect a lot of things. I got to get catching up on the news. I know they used AI. What was it? The AI that Trump literally just banned from the government, but they do like a 6-month rollout. So it should have been banned from the government. Anthropic, right? So Trump said not using that anymore. But they use Anthropic to off some of these guys. Are you thinking the MOAS? The mother of all short squeeze? No, mother of all bombs is the Moab. The Moab 2 is what the president's going to use. So I don't know. Again, fact check me on this. It kind of sounds like, man, I don't care about it. The news is a lot of people talking. Trump likes to talk. All the leaders love to just talk, and that's just all they do. But it kind of seemed like this weekend was, hey, we're firing back. And then, like, we got involved. Like, well, we're going to fire too because we got to be the action. Got to remind everybody we're the superpower. I do feel the other countries are a little bit relaxed. Nobody should be questioning if the United States is a superpower. Russia couldn't even take out Ukraine. That's like our Nebraska. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But anyway, I thought we were going crazy. I thought things were going to happen. So watch oil. The oil is just dropping right back down like nothing ever happened. Anytime we have something going on with Iran, oil is doing something. If you want a quick oil spike, there's just going to be a report that comes out. Oil will spike. We're already... I don't know. I'm going to catch up with the chat. Is there anything going on that I need to... that I should be aware of? You know, like, what am I missing here? At 110 of you guys right now, I need you guys all hit the thumbs up button. I had an analytic the other day that showed me how many people hit the thumbs up. YouTube felt that was obviously stupid to have. So I don't know how many thumbs up we have. I know it's not enough, so I'm going to need you to send it. Oh, it's in a different window now. 20 you guys. I hope your position's open green like that, and as soon as you get excited, it looks like that. For everyone that didn't hit the thumbs up, that's what I hope your P&L does. Sucks to suck. Get you some good karma. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're watching. And that's that. And, you know, maybe you're just kind of cruising around on YouTube trying to figure out what is the answer. Someone's bullish. I know all the thumbnails say, this is a decade sell-off. Yeah. If that's what you're looking for, I got either a time machine or I don't know what to describe, because there's plenty of sell-offs like this all the time. So if you're on YouTube and you can't find an answer, that literally is your answer. You got everyone talking about how this is the life-changing, what do they call it? Generational wealth, because they don't know what actual generational wealth is. Dip buys and all that. That's your cue to just maybe you don't take a position just yet. Let everybody get on board. Wait till all the YouTubers are bearish, you know, and then probably go bullish, because most likely they're wrong. Not all the time, but make your decision there. Let there be some alignment. When everybody's saying a different thing, what that should tell you is maybe the volatility is there. Either the volatility is there or the volume is not. Both of which are just not the times to be trading in general. Like, that's the time to chill. Kick your feet up on the desk, grab a Rubik's Cube, and pretend you know how to solve it. I know it's like the same moves over and over again, so you're not a genius if you can solve a Rubik's Cube if you know that. Just means you know, like, the 9 moves. But you solve the Rubik's Cube without that, you know? Do that at your desk until the market can kind of pick a direction and get it going. Indices indecision right now, going sideways. Be prepared for chop. Yeah, and especially if you're an options buyer, that's how you're just going to lose your money. And you might think you're doing good because you're going to buy small, and that's cool, because even I do that. Like, hey, I'm going to buy this. It doesn't cost a lot, so it's risking capital. It's going to zero, or it's going to make me money. But when the market goes sideways for a long time, it is just death by 1,000 cuts. I know I sound like I'm talking crap up here because all the jokesters, you know, on the YouTube, but for real, this market can really jack with you when it goes sideways and chops around, and you have these just bold headlines and actions being taken. You're like, something's going to happen. You feel like it should happen, but then it's not actually happening, but you end up taking a lot of plays on it. You end up just messing up. Host Brad to your channel. We miss those days. Yeah, I got to figure out how to have another person on here. But that'd be fun to have Brad back on. I don't think he does the stock stuff anymore, though. Finding any excuse to sell off, and markets have stayed sideways for months. That's the thing, is there's been tons of excuses to be bullish or bearish, and we've done literally nothing. You got Trump saying Dow to 100,000. Yeah, had he said that in 2020, 2019, 2018, man, not in 2018. Any other statement like that any time, we probably would have sent it. Yeah, we do have a lot of uncertainty, which is why I'm not excited to take any position right now. As an option seller, I will say that I've said this with my group a lot. I love selling options right now, but the puts that I'm selling, if I sell a put, I'm selling like to 20, and I've kind of beefed it up a little bit. Sometimes I'll even be like closer to 25, almost 30 delta. But if it comes down at the money, I'll roll it to the next week. But I do not care if I get assigned. I'm not going to put up much of a fight at all, because if I do get assigned, even if I do see further red happening, I'm going to ride that storm out. So I'm only selling puts on things that I literally will own. It'll be an income, a weekly income. But if you on assignment usually means it's red. So if it's too red, that's that. I'm gonna own the shares. So that's kind of where I'm at on these markets. Is just I'm waiting for the red days to sell puts. I would have loved for this gap down to have been tomorrow morning. Puts would have been absolutely nuts. You could have sold some, made some good money. They would have already been up. What is it? Markets will remain solvent longer than markets will remain irrational longer than you will remain solvent. Yeah. Is Ethereum in accumulation zone, still buying weekly? I actually no. This was it feels like a couple months ago. I turned Ethereum off, so it's just Bitcoin. Let's check that out real quick. It does look like it's just going sideways. There's a weekly zone right here. Now I turned it off back here, so I haven't been buying on this dip. Sub 2000, I kind of like it was. So I turned it off when the guy who created it said maybe this all sucks. The guy who created Ethereum basically said we should have had something by now, and we're not. It's just for a bunch of traders. Not the most bullish, like if the CEO of a company came out and said, we should have been good by now, but we're not, I would have sold that stock so fast. Like, oh, I love the enthusiasm. I'm out. And I don't know if it would have even market filled because I bet everyone would have sold that. That's what I did turn it off. I kind of thought Ethereum would just get absolutely smoked just from price action alone on that one. I do still like it. I think it's, without getting into the crypto side of things, it kind of doesn't look bad right now. I didn't sell any of my Ethereum. I just quit the weekly buy. We got Ray here. I'm just grabbing the lowest points. Okay. I don't know. Might not be bad to get back to accumulating. Gas station money, though, and if you're new here, gas station money to me, guys, is no one ever says, where'd all that gas go? They put money in the tank. That's that. And then they never look back. And that's how I would buy Ethereum right now. And then if it goes up crazy, hey, cool, you're good to go. VIX went up 2 points on open, now only half a point up. So I'm not even buying up the volatility. Now, if a bunch of traders are coming in and buying up volatility, because that's not for poor people. And by poor people, I mean upper middle class and lower. Like the VIX contracts are not cheap. So when they come in and start buying up volatility, I know there's some serious players in there. We're not even doing that. I'm not gung-ho about buying, but these charts kind of seem bullish just from that alone. Let's see. Should is the most dangerous word in trading. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hate even saying it. Like, I should do this. Because when I say that, it's like that. I don't not say there's a difference. You just don't know the context behind it. Because a lot of people are like, I remember who remembers this. Neo should hit $75 this week. That was the week it hit 73. 73 is when that statement was made. Let's just pull up Neo real quick. To say something should do something and then just not have the risk management behind it is the wildest thing you could ever do. Oh, I thought it hit 73. Oh, we only got 67. It was right here at the peak. I'm big into Neo because it should hit 75 this week. Literal turning point. Never looked back. So saying it should hit that, not having a stop in. There you go. What we got? People might be thinking this Iran situation might be done by Monday or this week. That would be crazy. Talk about desensitizing the world too. We can just level some situations and be right back to business as normal in 48 hours. It might just be a dip buy situation for the overall market, and oil drops back down, but things are always changing. Yeah, maybe you're right on point. Maybe we are just kind of not that shocked anymore, unless we bring out, because like bunker busters used to be a really big deal. It's a really heavy bomb. You got Meet Kevin talking about how much fuel it takes to carry a bomb over there, like literally something no one cares about. But because he got his pilot license and wants to tell you that fuel is an equation, as far as weight goes into a plane, he had to tell you about it. But like Moabs used to be a big thing. Like, we're dropping a 30,000 pound bomb on somebody. Like, it's going to go through the mountain and get them. Now it's like, yeah, that's our normal arsenal. We're good. Future so red that I had lots of shares of PD that sold at the close Friday, that opened lower to climb all day Friday after the big dip last week. Okay. I only own Tiger. Brokerage in Hong Kong that has upgrades to city upgrade. Okay. Silver might be interesting to look at. Let's check out. So what are the shiny metals doing? So SLV and GLD are two of the latest ones that I have been buying. And looks like Friday was the day. So I talked about, now I bought before. Now I bought right here, somewhere up here. Maybe it's here. It was right before. It's like literally they bought my order flow. Like, you know what? I'm tired of this guy in his stupid yellow boxes. I'm tired of being accurate. Drop that thing. JP Morgan apparently hates me because it was right before that. Sent it back down. Now I added on. Gosh, I have to go over my prices. I added on one of these zones, but I wasn't worried about really adding on or really being bullish till we got above this zone, which we literally just got Friday. So probably back on track for silver and the shiny stuff. Gold already got above that zone and is moving and grooving. Just using up some ammo before it expires. As long as they don't say, hey, this uranium either needs to be enriched or used, It doesn't really have that certain green glow. Should we use it? Iran's been talking that stuff lately. And when you think about it, 35 years of radiation, that's going to be over in a blink. Be over before you know it. Can you imagine how nuts that would be if Trump tweeted something like that? NEO is actually doing well as a company. Oh, yeah, but there's the real world, and then there's the stock world. People that, not you, but a lot of people don't understand that. And then they read headlines and try to make moves off of it, and it's not a thing. What's the dollar up to? Still sideways? Euro USD hanging out. So I'm bullish this. So that gap down, that could have been painful, but it's already up. Well, less red. I bought in the zone, so literally I've been waiting for this to do something for a while now. Lisa says, wait for it. What are we waiting for? Johnny EV, PSKY. Paramount Skydance. Now they're buying TikTok, right? Is that not them? Why do I recognize this name? I feel like that's two names. There's Paramount, which I have to watch things on, and then there's Skydance. If you bought in that zone, you're doing good. Oh, the radiation comment? Yeah. Yeah, just wait for it. Now, if you want generational wealth, here's a tip for you guys. You buy the land when it's dirt cheap while it's radiated, and then you put it in a trust. You hand that trust to your kids. Later, you will own the land that's fresh. You gotta clean up the topsoil a little bit, but if you want real generational wealth, you wait for a hydrogen bomb or an atom bomb, and you buy it while it's cheap. You could get some cool pets out of there, some two-headed snakes, a lizard with 3 eyes. You probably don't want to go camping there because your kid might have 3 arms. Could be a good swimmer, though. I don't know how that works in Olympic lifting, but also could have some benefits. Just food for thought. John EV is long at 13. Or are you long at 13 here or 13 here? Because there's two different things there. This war should have a correction in all the metals, mostly gold and silver. They didn't react into it, but up. But the miners could correct to buy the miners that are hitting the bottom. Will rally back up. Okay. Remember when Netflix put a $2.8 billion backing out clause? Does that show up in the next earnings report? I don't want to give an answer. I don't know. Because of there's a lot of weird accounting things they can do in those reports. So it's not always black and white. So you own it at 13. So you bought it somewhere over here, added on down here, and your average is 13. I do just want to ask, what was why? What about that look good? Do you think gold and silver is overbought, but still the miners should dip since they still report earnings? I don't think it's overbought. No. I mean, I've been buying them. So full send. I think that J.P. Morgan shorting them. I think it was a great dip buy for the metals. Johnny, I'm not going to pick on you, nor do I have all night to. Not in a mean way. I'd love to actually get into why people buy stuff like this. If you make a habit out of this, a lot of them are going to lose because they're going to continue doing what they've been doing. This is why they say the trend is your friend. Your money's just going to keep going down. You bought somewhere over here, added on over here, and your average is 13. And by the luck of whatever you pray to, you're green right now. This is what I would say, because everyone makes mistakes. Now, sometimes you make money on these mistakes. Sometimes you lose money on these mistakes. Sometimes you don't realize it's a mistake and you just lose a lot more. If you can get paid for making a mistake and you get out and say, wow, that was crazy, and you don't want to make that mistake ever again, you just don't do that ever again, you got some extra money in your account. But I mean, outside of not everything I've picked, most of the stocks that I picked have gone up. Outside of that, what makes it super easy is I just buy the things that look like that. They go up, and then they just keep going up, and then I look like a genius. And occasionally Pelosi comes out and says, this is a monopoly, and then it sells off, and then you just buy it because it's going to be Google, Facebook, or Amazon. And then, now I'm not accusing her of this, but her and her friends buy the dip. All of a sudden, that court case gets dropped, and we're right back on track. I look like a hero, but I just keep buying the things that go up. And I'm not in a position of please go up, please go up, please go up, please go up. I should average down. I should really average down. Thank God. Something that literally never happened, and I'm green. It's an investment, not a trade. Okay, different argument. On that argument for everyone else, just remember, every stock has heard the same thing. It's about the long term. And people that say that also have no idea what they're talking about. There's an investment conversation, but if it's time in versus timing and you're talking about a specific stock, just know that person has literally no clue how the stock market works. Full stop. I don't care if it's Tom Nash and Palantir. I don't care who it is. I wish I was going to name like a few YouTubers and they're like their one hill they're going to die on. I don't have any other references. But if they say time in versus timing, clueless. Don't listen to them ever again. There's been over 100,000 stocks in existence. They all heard that same crap, and they're gone. It just kept going down, and then it got delisted, and it's out here. Sometimes they go to over-the-counter, and they kind of like fade away. That's the stupidest crap you'll ever hear in the market. For the record, if I pulled up a watch list and said, just show me every stock, I don't think it's even 6,000 anymore. I think we're into the fives now. Used to be 7. Last couple of years dropped down to 6,000. We might even be in the 5,000s now. Which means if I were to round down and up, right, I round down to only 100,000 stocks in existence. That's 95,000 that heard the stupidest crap and then got delisted. You still have a 5% chance of picking the right one. OG plan is to hold for years. I like that. I like the fact that he said he had a plan. Again, something I've said a million times. Have a plan or plan to fail. Everything I buy as an investment, I could delete that app and I will see you in 5 years. End of story. I don't care. People love to ask me, are you going to hold it through earnings? Yeah, I don't feel like creating a taxable event because they're going to say something that's going to affect it for the next week or two. There's going to be a lot of earnings in the time that I hold this. There's a difference in a trading account and an investment. Now, I like to add, and I still like to manage things and keep an eye on things. But overall, that core value of this is an investment, I'm going to hold it, is there. Now, I do only add, there's a reason why Meta is my number one ticker, and I keep buying it because I like it. There is a reason why NNDM, a 3D printing company, 3D prints chips, love that thing, bought it. Now, it is a ticker that I bought, and it's just gone down. There's a reason why there's only been one video about that. There's nothing else to talk about. Am I adding on to it? I added on one time. I liked another price. So I bought another chunk in. Oh, that's that. That's literally it. There's nothing else to talk about when it comes to that. Now, if you were to take Jeremy from Financial Education, he picked Tattooed Chef. Now, in my opinion, one of the dumbest things you could have ever bought. I would have slapped my friend every time I saw him if he said something that dumb to my face. In my existence, in the air that I breathe, I would have been so offended that you thought that stock was ever going to go up. It's fine. People can buy garbage all they want. It's the continuing to add on and add on and add on. And he went to the store one day and noticed there was an extra, that they made like frozen meals, right? So there was like an extra box in there. It was basically a TV dinner. Went from Salisbury steak to they added meatballs. He's like, I got to buy more. Ends up being a multi-million-dollar loss because you continue to add on. If you buy garbage, just let it be garbage. Procore is another good one. Okay. Look at Citibank on the monthly chart. Ooh, I like the monthly situation. And we call out higher time frames like that. It's rare that people do. Looks like this is just cooling off. Now, when a stock pushes up, I would say this 15 minutes hourly, 4 hour. When it pushes up like that, it's going to pull over or pull back. Right now, it's pulling over. I like Citigroup. So I don't know if I would call this a generational wealth dip buy, but it's certainly a dip nonetheless. Pays a dividend. Not a bad company. Could go into years of selling off. But, I mean, here's the Rona crash. Here's all the fake money. Here's a sucking out the fake money. A lot of it just went into AI and popular stocks. It kind of went right back in. So I do like. I know this company, and I do like it. Turns out they sucked in 2008. Oh, just kidding. They sucked for a while. 2006. Burry was right. Remember that one time Burry was right? They made a movie about it. Imagine you're wrong so often that the one time you're right, you get a movie, and Christian Bale's your actor. That's got to be, I don't know, is that cool, or what is that? How to invest $100K for 2x returns in 5 years? I would just buy SPY. I would be close to, you double your money on average like every 7 years if you were to just buy SPY. So I would buy SPY, and then I would sell a couple calls in it. And then I would turn my 100K into 200K. And I know I just went over that really fast. That's how easy that would be. What's up, John? All right. Speaking of which, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. There's just not much to go over. The fact that we we're not worried about Iran anymore. That was just a weekend thing. Had that happened on a Tuesday, we had a limit down. Things would have been nuts. Happened over the weekend. We had a little bit of a red, and we're already not worried about it. Tells me everything everyone's worried about is nothing. Nothing. So personally, I'm going to wait at least till Monday lunchtime. really, to make any moves, because tomorrow morning we could be just screaming right back up. I want to see if we're above or below this zone, this bright. And I made it bright yellow for everyone here that is challenged. Let's just really. This is the S&P, bright yellow. Okay, if we're above that, things are looking good. If we reject right here, probably a continuation down. The fact that there's a green candle at all should tell you fear's just not in control. If we gapped down, first of all, that gap in general is something. Now, that should have been a domino in itself, bringing on even more fear, triggering stop losses. Everybody getting out, going short, a lot of sell-side activity. All that did was turn on everybody's buy side. Like, that's crazy. So if we reject this, we might continue our grind down. But I think that was the bulk of it. Did I do the expected? Are you doing the expected moves on the public or private? I did at the beginning of this video. So if you are just tuning in, hit the thumbs up button for me. Watch the beginnings. I did go over all the expected moves for the week. That's these dashed lines right here. Kind of tells you what we have priced in already. This is market makers, what they have priced in, where the markets are going to go. Other than that, yeah, I'd hang tight. I do have to get to my Zoom session, so if you guys are curious about that, Casey, my admin, she posted a link in here a couple times. It's always in the description. 99% of the time, it's in the description. Patreon link or school, depending if you want the course or not. But Sundays and Thursdays, Zoom session. I do have to get with them and answer all their questions and not make people cry this time. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Do me a huge solid. Hit the thumbs up. Hit all the buttons. Do the cool things. And if you are subscribed and have that notification turned on, you should see me at least Wednesday live, and then plus whatever other videos I put out. I might start doing Fundamental Fridays or something like that again, evergreen content style. So they're actually, let me know if you guys are still here. Hang tight, because I need you to answer this question, not in the live stream. Wait for this to upload. Answer this as in the video comments. I was going to start a new channel, because here I just kind of go over market stuff, right? This video now will probably be worthless in 2 weeks. You're just not going to know about the rants and the lessons that I went over in this video. Maybe I could clip it out. Who cares? Whatever. That's just content that's relevant right now. There's something in the YouTube world called evergreen content, where you could watch it now. You could watch it 3 years from now. It is still relevant. I was going to start a new channel just for that. And I kind of thought maybe, because the new channel just have one video a week anyway, and I would just put all that here, keep the market stuff here. It would be literally all about wealth. Side jobs that I've done that didn't work out, jobs that sucked but paid a lot. Everything I've done, experience-wise, toys that I've bought to make money, excuses to buy toys. That still probably made money, but not enough to take on as a job. Anything and everything wealth related. So might not be stocks. Would you guys want that video on a Friday, or do you want it on a separate channel? I guess if you saw that notification, would you click unsubscribe, or would you either not click on it? I do this weird thing on YouTube where if it's a video I don't want to watch, I just don't click on it, even if I am subscribed to you. And I don't want to hear about Palantir again. I don't unsubscribe from Tom Nash. I just don't watch that video. And I have come to the realization that I'm weird, So if it would make it easier for some little brains, I'll put it on another channel. I think you should write a book with all you're saying and trading like Merlin is doing. Could be all right. Could be fun. I did forget. I forgot we're doing this now. Let's get the keyboard out of the way. Let's let the market tell us. Now, if we open a red energy, then we know it's red, right? The markets are going to be red. If we open a green energy, it's green. We're going to let the cards decide. We're going to let the new future of investing decide right here. It's like the Mona Lisa, but for the younger generation. If you're not 105 years old, you want to invest in art, it's Pokemon cards. Pokemon's 30th anniversary. That was Friday, as a matter of fact. I would sub and hit the like buttons. See? Someone's saying separate. A couple people are saying separate channel. Not everybody. It would still be wealth. There's a lot of stuff I have to say. We're going to do let's do 2 packs. It's supposed to be one pack at the end of every video, but that's weird. Let's do 2, just in case we don't get a solid answer, you know? We're going to open until we get green or red. That's the new rule. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I want to say and talk about, but it's not necessarily stocks, you know? So do I... Hang on, let's get that. There we go. I don't know. I might do a little bit of both. I might try it out, see how it performs, and if it just sucks, I put it on the other channel. We'll see how many thumbs up. You guys can let me know in the analytics. How about that? New content coming up. Same channel. I thought we were waiting to post. Yeah, you should be. Okay, so markets are going to hit a speed bump zone. Blue zone. There's Kathy Wood, obviously. Is that Kathy Wood or is that... I forgot her name. She literally just retired. We even mentioned her earlier today. Politician. Pelosi. Is that Pelosi or Kathy Wood? Side rant. I got stuck watching a live streamer open these oysters and pull the pearls out. Kind of like what I'm doing here with Pokemon cards. And I thought, why is this so intriguing? So I'm going to buy some oysters. All right, we got Ponyta, Arvin, Sandwich in case you're hungry. Gorbis. Man, would you not want to throw that like a dart? Odd number of votes never ends in a tie. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below for sure. I still want everyone's opinion. And I give these away if your kids do this, and that's what this code is for. They get online cards if they play the game. Green or red. Okay, so the markets are going to be green this week. Full stop. From now on, we're going to open a card until we get green or red. Right there. He's like, I told you so. You know what he's pointing at? Oh, my gosh. We should have been doing this a long time ago. It's literally going to hit a yellow zone and turn green. Well, it hit a zone and turned green. Which one just bounced off a yellow zone? There we go. Hit the zone, turned green. There you have it, folks. How many times do I need to be right in one video? That's a bird made of metal. That thing's not flying. You know, that's not. We did get a hit. There's the guy that has a short position this weekend. That's the face you make. Because he timed it right. Just markets fought him like this. We got this Yan Mega EX. This is full art. It should only be worth a couple bucks. We'll look up the values on the crazy stuff. Anyway, write a book so that AI can summarize it and generate a video to read it back to me. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Pokemon says it's going to be a green week. We're going to bounce off a yellow zone. Be on the lookout for that. I'm thinking it's probably... Why wouldn't it be a green week? The way we're buying up this red crap is wild. So take your time. Let me know in the comments again down below. And shout out to everybody that participates, engages, everything. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.